It's been hot today, man. I really didn't feel like making a video. Uh, anyway, let's make a video. I think we're on chapter 37. Let me double check here. Chapter 30. You know what? No. I am on chapter 39. And we'll start there. Chapter 39. I don't know what. Maybe I missed it or didn't publish it or whatever. Okay. Uh, Here we go. Chapter 39. Chapter 39, and then I don't know. A couple more chapters probably. So let's make good use of our time. All right, welcome back, friends. Okay, so this one is Joseph advanced in Potiphar's house. All right, he resisted his mistress' temptation. He is falsely accused and cast into prison, and God is with him there. Okay. All right. And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, brought him of the hands of the Ishmaelites, which had brought him down thither. All right, let's continue. And the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. But things, dude, give me a second here. All right, hold on. Sorry. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper him. How you doing? Hi, Green Bear. And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him and made him overseer over the house, and that and all that he had he put into his hand. Awesome. Reality check. How you doing? Reality check. Cool. Welcome. And it came to pass from the time that he had made him overseer in his house and over all that he had, that the Lord blessed the Egyptian's household for Joseph's sake, and the blessing of the Lord was upon all that he had in the house and in the field, and he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, and he knew not aught he had save the bread which he ate. And Joseph was a goodly person and well favored. Right? And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, lie with me. But he refused and said unto his master, behold, my master, wotteth, knoweth not what is with me in the house. And he hath committed all that he hath into my hands. Yeah, he has committed all that he has into my hands. And there's none greater in the house than I. Neither hath he kept anything from me but thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? So he knows it was wrong. Oh, commentary connoisseur. I want to read this. My Sunday school teacher taught me how to forgive and forgiveness, spread the other, and to spread the other cheek. Now God is deep inside. What in the world? Yeah, I think it's like turn the other cheek, dude. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. Anyway, read Acts 2:38. Okay. Uh, let me finish this chapter and I'll read Acts 2:38. Okay, and it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business. Right, he had hearkened not unto her, right, to lie with her or to be with her. And it came to pass at that time that Joseph went into the house to do his business. There was none of the men of the house within, and she came and and she caught him by the garment, saying, "Lie with me." And he left his garment with her in her hand, and fled, and got him out. And it came to pass, he when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand, she and was fled forth. Okay, that she called unto the. Uh, are we almost done with this chapter? Well, yeah, we're close. Okay, the men of her household, and spake unto them, saying, See, he hath brought in an Hebrew unto us to mock us. And he came in unto me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice. And it came to pass when he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled and got him out. And she laid up his garment by her until his Lord came home. Yay, the Bible. Thank you. Okay. And she spake unto him according to these words, saying, The Hebrew servant which thou hast brought unto us came in unto me to mock me. Really? You think that's what was going on? Huh. This sounds like a story, and not a good story. False accusations, right? And it came to pass, as I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled out. And it came to pass when his master heard the words of his wife, when she spake unto him afterward, this manner did the servant to me, that his wrath was kindled. And Joseph's master took him and put him into the prison, a place where the king's prisoners were bound. And he was there in the prison. But the Lord was with Joseph and showed him mercy and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prisons of the prison. And the keeper of the prison uh, committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners that were in the prison. Whatsoever they did there, he was the doer of it. The keeper of the prison looked not to anything that was under his hand, because the Lord was with him, and that he that which he did, the Lord made it to prosper. Awesome. Okay, chapter 40, and then okay, I think we'll do chapter 40, but let me go look at this verse here. Still with me, Henry? Henry, you still with me? Okay, hold on. Let's go look this up. And I'll go back to. Uh, by the way, it's one of my favorite verses, by the way. Just let you know. Ooh, the author of X over here. Over here. Okay, Acts 2:38. That's okay. Then Peter said unto them, Repent and be baptized, every one of you, in the name of Jesus Christ for the remission of sins. Right? The forgiveness of sins. True repentance leads to forgiveness of sins. Wow. And ye shall receive the gift of the Holy Ghost, right? You'll become born again. Alright. I believe that's what it's saying there. Uh there's other places where it doesn't there's a little bit more detail on that. Alright, well, anyway, let's go back to can't wait till we get to Exodus. That's for sure. I'm just taking my time here with these chapters. So Joseph, do you guys like Joseph? What do you think of Joseph as a biblical character so far? I want to know. Do you think he's one of the better examples? Okay, of a good guy. Okay, and it came to pass after these things that the butler of the king of Egypt and his baker had offended their lord, the king of Egypt. And the Pharaoh was wroth, was angry against, okay, against two of his officers, against the chief of the butlers, and against the chief of the bakers. So, well, do we know what actually happened to cause them to be angry? I'm not sure. And he put them in ward in the house of the captain of all the guard into the prison, the place where Joseph was bound. And the captain of the guard charged Joseph with them, and he served them And they continued a season in ward. Right? And they dreamed a dream, both of them, each man his dream in one night, each man according to the interpretation of his dream. The butler and the baker of the king of Egypt, which were bound in the prison, and Joseph came in unto them in the morning and looked upon them, and behold, they were sad. And he asked Pharaoh's officers that were with him in the ward of his Lord's house, saying, Wherefore look ye so sad today? And they said unto him, We have dreamed a dream, and there is no interpreter of it. And Joseph said unto him, Do not interpretations belong to God? Tell them, or tell me them, I pray you. And the chief butler told his dream to Joseph, and they and said to him, In my dream, behold, a vine was before me, and in the vine were three branches, and it was as though it had budded, and her blossom shot forth, and the cluster thereof brought forth ripe grapes. Interesting. And Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, as I took the grapes and pressed them into Pharaoh's cup. And I gave the cup into Pharaoh's hands. And Joseph said, This is the interpretation of it. 3 branches are 3 days. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thine head and restore thee unto thy place, and thou shalt deliver Pharaoh's cup into his hand, after the former manner when thou wast his butler. Wow, you're going to be his butler again. Amazing. But think on me when it shall be well with thee, and show kindness, I pray thee, unto me, and make mention of hold on, of me unto Pharaoh, and bring me out of this place. Hey, X Steven, how you doing? And user allu user actually I'm not trying to pronounce that. User all user taken. Cool. For indeed I was stolen away from the land of the Hebrews, and here also have I done nothing that they should put me into the dungeon. Oh, wow. So it wasn't a fun place, this place. Then the chief bakers saw that the interpretation was good, and said unto Joseph also what was in my dream, and behold, I had 3 white baskets on my head, and the uppermost basket there was of all manner of baked meats for Pharaoh, and the the birds did eat them out of the basket of my head. And Joseph answered and said, This is the interpretation thereof. 3 baskets are 3 days. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thy head from off thee, and shall hang thee on a tree, and the birds shall eat thy flesh from off thee. Boo. Oh man. And it shall come to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday. Hold on, this thing got in the way. Pharaoh's birthday. Hold on, hold on, this thing got. Okay. That he made a feast unto his servants, and he lifted up his head of the chief butler and the chief baker among his servants, and restored the chief butler unto his butlership again, and gave him and and he gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand, but hanged the chief baker as Joseph had interpreted to them. Yet did not the chief butler remember Joseph, but forget him. Oh man. Should we keep going, guys? Okay, let's find out. It's not that many verses. Oh, we had. Oh. This is a big chapter. 57. 57 verses. If you guys don't mind, I'll keep going. Yeah, it's only 20 minutes here. And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river, and behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kind and fat-fleshed, and they fed in a meadow, and behold, 7 other kind came up after them of the river, ill-favored, right? And lean fleshed, and stood by the other kind upon the brink of the river, and the ill favored and lean flesh kind did eat up the 7 well favored kind and fat kind. So Pharaoh awoke, and he slept and dreamed the second time. And behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk, rank and good. And behold, 7 thin ears and blasted with the east wind sprung up after them. And the 7 thin ears devoured the 7 rank and full ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. Now I had a dream a couple weeks ago. No, it's a couple days ago actually. Not this vivid, of course, but I remember I was thinking that I was in a place that was okay. Maybe I was visiting someone. I'm not sure, and I decided to walk outside and outside the gate, right? And I see myself walking outside the gate, and there was a man over there and said, "What are you? Where are you going? What are you? You know, I'm just walking. I want to walk around." Oh, you can't do that, sir. You can't walk around. So yeah. Anyway, so I think I know what it has to do with, but yeah. Okay. So verse 8, and it came to pass, uh, in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of the earth and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh. Then spake the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day. Pharaoh was wroth with his servants, and put me in ward in the captain of the guard house, both me and the chief baker, and we dreamed a dream in one night, and I and he, we dreamed each man according to his interpretation, and hold on, and there was there with us a young man, an Hebrew servant to the captain of the guard, and we told him that and he interpreted to us our dreams, to each man according to his dream did he interpret. All right. So and it came to pass as he interpreted to us, so to me he restored unto mine office, and him he hanged. And Pharaoh um, sent out and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon, and uh, he shaved himself and changed his raiment, his clothing, and came in unto Pharaoh, and the Pharaoh and and Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee that thou canst understand a dream to uh, interpret it. And Joseph answered, hold on, what does he answer? Okay, so this is a Pharaoh saying, it is, let me move it up a little bit. It is in me, God has, shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, in my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river, and behold, there came up out of the river seven kind, fat fleshed, and well favored, and they are fed in a meadow. And behold, seven other kind came up after them, poor and ill favored, and lean fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness. And the lean and the ill favored kind did eat up the first seven fat kind. Boo. And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill favored as at the beginning. So I awoke. All right. And I saw in my dream, and behold, seven ears came up in one stalk, full and good. And behold, seven ears withered, thin and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. And the thin ears devoured the seven good ears, and I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. Okay? And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. God hath showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good years are 7 years. The dream is one. Okay, hold on. Verse 27. And the 7 thin and ill favored kine that came up after them are 7 years. And the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt, and there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. The plenty shall not be known. Shall not be known in the land by reason of the famine following, for it shall be very grievous, and for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice, because it, it it is because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass. Wow. Now, therefore, let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up a fifth part of the land of Egypt in his seven 7 plenteous years, and let them gather all the food of those good years that come up, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them let them keep food in the cities. Now, uh, okay, I'll explain it later. And that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perisheth not through though the famine. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such one as this is, a man in whom the Spirit of God is? Whoa. And the and Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for much as God hath showed thee all this, there is none so uh, discreet and wise as thou art. Right? For thou shalt be over my house according unto thy word, shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand, and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck. Notice this, though, a gold chain about his neck. Let's see if we could find another place here. I know we're reading this chapter, right? But let me put this right here. Uh, See if I can think of where the chapter is. Another place that talks about this, actually. This gold chain. Maybe I went too far. It's, okay, I think it's over here. This is in Daniel, right? Okay, let's read this chapter a little bit, right? But like speed read it. Like I'm just gonna like go over it in my mind to look for the point. Hmm. You know what? I'm not sure. I know it's over here somewhere. Ah, here. Let's read chapter 9. In the first year of Darius, the son of Ahasuerus, the seed of the Medes, which was made over the realm of the Chaldeans, in the first year of his reign, I Daniel understood by books the numbers of the years, whereof the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah the prophet, that would accomplish the 70 years of desolation of Jerusalem. No, dude, there's this one. Where is that at? Actually, uh, hmm. No, that's not it. Must be lower here. There we go. Sorry. Ah, I found it. Okay. Belshazzar, the king, made a great feast unto thousands of his lords, and drank wine before the thousand. And Belshazzar, while he tasted the wine, commanded to bring in the golden and silver vessels of his father Nebuchadnezzar had taken out of the temple which was in Jerusalem, that the king was and his princes and his wives and his concubines might drink thereof. And they brought the golden vessels that were taken out of the temple of the house of God, which was at Jerusalem, and the kings and the princes and the wives and his concubines drank in them. Blasphemous, right? And they drank the wine and praised the gods of gold and silver and brass and iron, of wood and of stone. And the same hour came forth fingers of a man's hand and wrote over against the candlestick and upon the plaster of the wall in the king's palace. And the king saw the part of the hand that wrote, and the king's countenance was changed. He and his thoughts troubled him, so that the joints of his loins were loosed, and his knees smote against another. The king cried aloud to bring right? The astrologers, the Chaldeans, the soothsayers, and the king spake and said to the wise men of Babylon, whosoever shall read this writing and show me the interpretation thereof shall be clothed with scarlet and have a chain of gold uh, about his neck and shall be in the third ruler of the kingdom. And basically, I'm gonna speed through this because guess who came? Uh, Belshazzar, Daniel came and gave the interpretation, and as soon as he gave the interpretation, it pretty much said that this king is gonna, be killed, and that's exactly what happened. Even though the gold chain was given to him, he didn't care. Okay, all right. So, but in this case, this gold chain was given to him, uh, and then he will. It wasn't because he, as a reward, but as to let other people know um, that he is the ruler. And, yeah, the signet and the ruler. Okay, verse 40, I think it is verse 40. And the Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as God hath showed me this, there is. Oh yeah, hold on. Oh yeah, here we go. Verse 43. And it and he made him ride in the second chariot which he had, which he had, and they cried before him, bow the knee, and he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. Okay. And Pharaoh called Joseph's names, uh, Zapthana something. I'm not sure. And he gave him to wife uh, Ashnath, daughter of Potiphar, Potiphar's Pharaoh, a priest of On. And Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of the Pharaoh and went through all the land of Egypt. And in the 7 plenteous years the earth brought forth by handfuls, and he gathered up all the food of the 7 years when they were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities, the food in the fields, which was round about every city. He laid up the same. So he made these, I think, mounds or something like that. You can see these. These are real things that he actually did. Uh, as archaeological things that he did. You can actually find it. Uh, and and Joseph gathered corn as the sand of the sea very much until he left numbering it, for it was without number. And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of famine came, which uh, Ashnath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, bare him unto him. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn uh, Manasseh, for God said, He hath made me forget my toil and all my father's house. Okay. And the name of the second was called Ephraim, for God hath caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. And the 7 years of plenteous that was in the land of Egypt were ended. Uh-oh. Okay. And the 7 years of dearth began to come, according as Joseph had said, and the dearth was in all the lands, but in all the lands of Egypt there was bread. And when all the lands of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, Go unto Pharaoh, what he saith to you, do. And the famine was over all the face of the earth, and Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians, and the and the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt. And all the countries came into Egypt to in, to Joseph for to buy corn, because that the famine was so sore, so great in all the land. All right, chapter 42 tomorrow. Okay, all done. God bless you. Thank you for staying the whole entire time. That one person, probably ex demon, not sure, but God bless you. Uh, yeah, I can't believe it, man. This is a long one, yeah. Um, so anyway, reading takes time, especially the long chapters, you know. And but these are really good chapters, though. So God bless you, and you may have a good night.